Yeah. Brassy girls everywhere. Titty ass hands in the air. So party over here. Shaking for the man of the year. Oh, man of the year.
What's good, people? Jimmy Bones here. So the Xbox Project Scorpio specs were revealed yesterday. It's April 6th, long awaited, highly anticipated, to see what these specs would do. And basically, in this video, I'm going to be going just over the pros and I guess the positives of what this could mean for the Xbox brand for the time coming. So, of course, one of the biggest positives I see with the new specs, and the specs being 6 teraflops of power, 326 gigabytes of memory bandwidth compared to the PS4's, I think 240-ish, maybe 280, 8 CPU, Jaguar CPU cores. And as we know, 12 gigs of GDDR5 RAM, as is 8 in the PS4 Pro, and even lesser of that in the original Xbox One. Basically, I think that these mean good because, of course, it's more power for the Xbox brand, so games will be played at least at a higher resolution. We'll see what frame rates are like, especially on more higher demanding games like The Witcher 3 and whatnot. The gap is much closer, separating the console and the PC. Even more so now, the PS4 was kind of closing that gap. Most games on the PS4 Pro being able to do 1440p 60 or 4K 30 upscaled and whatnot, and that's going off the assumption that most PC gamers are playing at 4K 60. So that gap is definitely getting closer even with the Pro, and then hopefully the Xbox Scorpio will close that gap even more. As I said before in the previous video, I don't think, of course, every game will not be doing 4K 60, but there will be a lot of upscaled games, and hopefully we will see higher frame rates in most of those games as well. When you compare, 4K gaming on a console to 4K on a PC, the price for the console is going to be much lower. They've been talking about $550 to $600 or less for the Xbox Scorpio, and then of course a 4K 60 PC machine across all games is going to cost you at least $1,000, as to where the console is somewhere around half of that price. So yeah, much lower price point, which is great for me, as I do plan on upgrading my Xbox One Slim that I use as my daily driver. Basically, I use this as my daily driver because most of my friends that I know in the real are still on Xbox. I have a lot of casual fans. I have some casuals. I have some, hardcore gamers on my friend list. I also have my PC. I sold my PS4, so I still use my PC mostly for, the multi-plat single-player games, and then, the GTA Battlefields and whatnot on the Xbox, with my friends and whatnot, because it's just easier that way, because, the cross-platform between Xbox and PC, Windows 10 still isn't a thing. I still can't play GTA 5 with my friends on PC and play with them on Xbox. So yeah, as I said before, comparing the Scorpio to the PS4 Pro, it's basically the Xbox Pro, but with maybe 25% more power. So it's like I said, as I said with the PS4 Pro, even most Pro games aren't doing 1080 60. It depends on the developer. Some games are doing 4K 30. You have a few exceptions like NBA 2K17 doing 4K 60. Most games are not, though. And we've seen a lot of upscale games on the PS4 Pro. Hopefully, we'll see at least some native 1440p 60 games on the PS4 or Project Scorpio, as it does have more power. So Microsoft hopefully has that wiggle room to, make the best possible product. Yeah, but that's just pretty much the positives that I gathered from base Phil. But that's pretty much it for this one. Jimmy Bones here. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'm gone.